What's up, man? How you doing?
Ethan, what's going on, brother? I'm doing good.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, wanted to go ahead and get you here for a client interview. I just want
Yeah.
you to go ahead, start off, like, list your name, where you live and what you do for business, like, just a little bit about
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Hagen. I live in Tampa, Florida, and I run an online fitness company, online fitness business. So I've been in the fitness industry for quite some time. I used to be a personal trainer. I feel like most people who go online at some point in time, they were working as an in-person trainer. And then you realize
Yeah.
that, hey, like I could be doing this online and have more time and more freedom and actually make more money. And that's when I made that pivot. And that's what I've been doing now. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet, man. And like, how was your situation before, like, before working with us when you were working in person? Like, what was that like?
Yeah. So when I was working in person, I mean, any personal trainer knows you're just working insane hours and you're capped out at a certain level because there's only so many hours in a day, right? You can only service so many clients. And then when you do sell a package, it's like you have to go and fulfill like so it's like
Yeah.
not so much time to be able to do that and you don't get paid very well. So eventually it got to a point where I couldn't take on any more clients. So I was like,
Mm,
hey, I might as well take on more clients, but on the side online and charge them a price. And that's when I started getting into this world of online coaching. And
yeah.
then one thing led to another. And that's when I ran into you and what you guys do here and took my business to the next level.
Yeah. And walk me through like when you were back at like working as an in-person trainer, working all these hours, like you have all these clients to fulfill and you're not making much money. Like how did you feel then?
Fucking drained, like burned out. It was like it was crazy because it would be from like 6 a.m. until like 12 in the afternoon. I might have like an hour break for lunch and
Mm,
then back to the gym at 2 p.m. all the way up until 6, 7 p.m. And then I would get my own workout
wow.
in. And even then we would barely make anything. We'd make like maybe 100, $200 a day, with maybe 300. But you think about that, it's really not that much compared to like
Yeah.
what you could make doing it online. So it was felt very overwhelming.
Yeah. And I guess when you felt super overwhelmed and you had all these hours and all these different clients, like what do you feel like you wish you could have done but you weren't able to do?
Just having that, excuse me, just having that knowledge and structure of like how to transition online, right? Because I
Mm,
didn't know how. I had no clue about how to market myself on Instagram, what to put in my bio, what ads were. I had no idea what that was, boosting
yeah.
posts, how to make content to like get yourself out there. Like no idea. In fact, most of my clientele that I was like taking online were actually from clients or members from the gym that I was working at. So it was like I was basically kind of like poaching clients from them. So in reality, I had no idea how to get clients. And I think that's a
Gotcha.
big problem that most people have when they go online. It's like, okay, now I'm a coach. How do I get clients? Right. And that's like a
Yeah.
kind of mind fuck because it's like now I don't have this gym that's, behind me, backing me up, giving me the credibility, right? I have to actually go
Yeah.
out there into the marketplace. So I think just teaching us the processes on how to do that actually, I mean, that's the most important thing. Yeah.
100%. Because like if you're on your own and you're kind of just posting like shirtless pics on Instagram, it's just not going to land you any clients,
It
right?
might have worked like 5 years ago or like maybe 10 years ago when like this wasn't a popular thing, but now with more competition in the marketplace, you have to know the strategies to set yourself apart. You have to have a plan and a structure in place. And that's what I feel like you guys did a really good job with helping me put in place.
Yeah. Overall, having that layout for like how to run ads, how to actually make content correctly that
Yeah.
converts, and overall how to actually close deals in general. So like,
Yeah.
I
It's
guess
huge.
like, how did you really find us? Like, what brought you to work with us?
Instagram ads, right? So
Yeah.
that's what started. I guess the algorithm, is smart nowadays. They know what to kind of what you need, right? So I guess I was just scrolling one day and I clicked on an ad and you've been working with me for a long time. You know that I like to take risks. So
Yeah.
hopped on a call and what you said made sense and I was like, let's rock and roll. I didn't think twice.
Yeah. So you just went all in because you knew it's what you had to do. Because if
I'm
you
that
didn't
guy.
do it, you wouldn't
Yeah,
be here. You take
exactly.
those risks, you take that action. All right, sweet.
Exactly.
And like for you, like what were your thoughts kind of going through the process, like getting the help every single week in terms of like ads help,
Yeah.
offer, sales? Like what was that like?
Yeah, because like most people don't realize like when you're running a business, you're like basically managing like 4 or 5 different parts at the same time. So it was really helpful to have these different calls every single week where each call focused on a different part of the business, whether that's
Mhm.
marketing, whether that's sales, whether that's fulfillment, whether that's operations, or like an ads clinic or something like that, to really just make sure that hey, like this call, we're focused on this, whatever specific problems you have, you can bring it to this call. And then, same with the other calls, right? And that really helped me be really just develop myself, my skills, my knowledge, experience to be able to be an expert in each department before I made enough money to like delegate and hire people to take care of fulfillment or
Yeah,
marketing or content, whatever that might be, right? So it's super helpful.
definitely. And like out of everything, what do you feel like impacted you the most? Do you feel like for you, like I know we talked about this a while throughout the program, but like for you, do you feel like your biggest issue was like sales? Do you feel like your biggest issue was leads? What do you feel like you struggled
Yeah.
with most at that time?
I think it was lead generation, so like marketing, right? Because I was always a salesperson, being a personal
Yeah.
trainer, working in the gym. I've always loved sales. I mean, I got a lot better after working with you, but I think the biggest needle driver was like just client acquisition, like understanding how to have good content that actually attracts the target avatar that you want. How to actually run ads, right? No, it's
Yeah.
so like I have no idea how to do that, and then also changing my mindset around running ads and not being
Mm,
afraid of taking risks and investing in marketing, right? Because you got to pay to play nowadays in this game. You
yeah.
can't just be doing cold DMs and organic content like Hormozy says. Like the days of 100 cold DMs and you get 10 and then you get 5 on a call, like that doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't work anymore. It might have worked 5 years ago, but it's like, all right, when everybody's doing that, you're gonna have to do something a little different. So I think that's another thing that is great about you guys is you guys are like in the modern marketplace. So you guys know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And as you guys talk about all the time, marketing and sales, it operates in cycles. So what used to work doesn't work anymore. When everybody's doing one thing, you got to do something else.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to set yourself apart. So I think that was the biggest needle driver for me.
Yeah. Overall, having something that you knew was going to work in the current marketplace, not something that worked 5, 10 years ago when people were all starting their business. That makes a lot of sense. And for
Yeah.
you, like, what were maybe some of the doubts or fears that you had about like joining our program?
Oh, it's like with anything, I mean, it wasn't my first time investing in myself. I've invested in many other courses and programs before, and I've been burned before.
Yeah.
I certainly had a lot of doubts and fears, but I guess you were just too good of a closer in closing. No, what you said actually made sense. What you said,
Yeah.
like, because like to exactly what I was talking about earlier, right? The things you do have to be different, and when everybody else is just spouting the same bullshit, and when you come with something that's actually legit and it makes sense in my perspective, considering I've had a lot of bad experiences, I was like, you know what, this makes sense. I was gonna go all in.
Yeah, 100%. And walk me through like where you were before you started with us. Like, what was your income at? How many clients
Yeah.
did you have? Those kind of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, most of my clients came from the gym that I worked at. So I was already doing about 7 or 8K a month,
Yeah.
recurring revenue. But like I wasn't like getting new clients. That was my problem. I was stuck
Mhm.
there. So then after working with you guys, started pushing out more content, started, running ads and stuff like that. That's when I was able to like first I got past the 10K mark, which I think is like a milestone everybody's shooting for
Yeah.
10K a month, right? So I was super proud of that. And then after that, it was just scaling the budget, right? Just double down on what you're doing. And that got me to 15, 20. My biggest month was 25K. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
was definitely a proud moment for me.
And for you, like, there might be a lot of people watching this who are like, oh, I'd love to be like 7, 8K a month. Like, what pushed you to want to go higher and like actually start to make more money?
Yeah, because what you're going to realize is that just because your business is doing 7, 8K or 10K a month doesn't mean you're taking home that amount of money, right? Because you've
Hmm.
got to spend money on marketing or fulfillment or whatever other parts of your business that you got to spend money on. So now that being said, if you wanted to be under 10K a month, you could. Excuse me. If you wanted to stay under 10K a month, you could just like take all the money home, but then you'd be working your ass off.
Yeah.
Right. So like I think that's a realization I had to come through as well. When I was making 10 to 15K a month, I was working my ass off. Right.
Yeah.
Have to really push and accelerate past to like that 20, 25, 30K a month mark where you have enough money to hire someone to delegate part of the
Sure.
business so that you no longer have to spend as much time and energy there. So that was what was motivating me to do that, right? Not because of the number, because yeah, even if I was making 25K a month, I was probably only taking home 10,
Hmm.
right?
So now, I guess like now being at the place where you're making 25 consistently, maybe even sometimes a little bit more, like how do you kind of feel now as opposed to when you were at like 7, 8K or even in the gym working as a personal trainer?
I definitely feel like I'm a legit business owner, like there's things that I have to be responsible for. There's people that are working under me. There's clients that have trust in me and that I have sold into the program that rely on me. So I have to be a leader. So I think that positively impacts every other aspect of my life as well.
Yeah.
And excuse me. And also just understanding that now I want to push even more because to my point, even though right now I do have some parts of my business delegated, I'm still working insane hours. I'm still
Yeah.
hustling, right? So I understand, I think we had a one-on-one with this is that I have to push past to like the 40, maybe 50K mark. That's when I have a little bit more breathing room for myself and
Sure.
still a little bit aside to, enjoy life and spend time with family and stuff like that.
Of course, of course. And there are, like you said, like different levels to it, you know. When you're at that like under 10K a month, you're working your ass off, you're putting in all these hours, you're making a little bit, you might make like 3, 4K a month after everything, and then it's like, oh, you gotta pay rent, you gotta pay all these other expenses, you're really
Yeah.
left with like nothing, right? So
Uh,
like how is life kind of different now, making, 25, making 30 a month compared to like what are you kind of able to do now that you couldn't before?
oh, yeah, good question. I mean, just being able to not have to worry about little things like bills and stuff like that. Like I
Mhm.
used to live paycheck to paycheck, and I would always think, oh, I got the rent payment and then the car payment, whatever. Like, yeah, those are big payments, but now like the smaller things almost feel like it's free now. Like I can go to a restaurant. I eat out every
Yeah.
day. Like I
I
don't,
saw
I don't
every
cook. Yeah,
story.
yeah. I eat out every day. I go to nice restaurants. I have nice steaks. I have some cocktails. It's like, and it's I'll tip extra, and it's like it doesn't feel like I'm like in the past, I would have to be like, oh, it's a special occasion. We're going out to eat. Now I do that every day, every night, and it's like it's gotten normal. So I think that elevated my status a little bit in society, and
Definitely.
going to these different places, you meet different people. My network has expanded. I'm going to nicer restaurants, so you're going to meet nicer people, right? Going to these nice cigar lounges, going to meet more successful people, right? So, and then just being more involved, and I guess the entrepreneurial culture here in Tampa and meeting other business owners, right? So it's life changing.
Yeah. And I saw that like I saw a couple posts like you tipped like $100 on $100 bill.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you're giving it
yeah,
away. You're making so much doesn't matter.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I wanna give back, because I used to work in the service industry. I used to be a server. I used to be a bar back. So I remember
yeah.
when I was younger, there would be these really rich dudes come into the club or to the restaurant, and they would hand me $100 and hand me a $20 bill, and that would make me feel amazing. Now I get to be that guy that can walk into a nice restaurant and hand a 20-year-old bar back or server a $100 tip and make them and see the reaction they have, and it's like
Yeah.
it makes me feel good.
100%. And I saw also like you're looking at getting like a new car now too. Like you're looking to
Yeah,
upgrade. What are you looking to
100%.
get?
Yeah, I mean, I already upgraded to a Volkswagen Atlas from a WRX. Now I want to get my Cadillac Escalade. I've always wanted one of those. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah, man. So it seems like this had like a positive impact on like your entire life. Like just getting to this income and just being able to treat people around you. to like these
Yeah,
different dinners, cigars, everything like that. Your lifestyle's changed.
for sure. And it's only gonna get exponentially better this year, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. So overall for you, like if what would you kind of say to someone who's watching this right now and
Mm.
who's like unsure about really taking the next step? Like what would you say to them?
I would say just stop being a bitch and just pull the trigger because it's like if you don't have what it takes to make a decision and go all in on yourself, like on a call with you guys or whatever it might be, you're not going to be able to make the decisions that you need to make as a business owner. When you need to hire somebody, when you need to fire somebody, when you need to invest $3,000 a month in ads, when something happens with a client and you need to go put out a fire or whatever, these are things that you have to change about yourself, the way you make decisions to be like, you know what, I trust and believe in myself that I'm going to pull this off. And so I'm gonna fucking do it. And if you don't want to do that, if you can't, you don't feel like you can do that, then don't do it. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say. Again,
Okay. And like, what would you say to somebody who's overall like just trying to get more information? Maybe they're working starting with ads. Maybe they just haven't taken action in a while and they've been on it on their own for 6 months, a year.
yeah, I would say it's the same thing as look at your own clients that you talk to in your own fitness business, right? What do you feel when they come up to you and they're like, oh, I'm just looking for more information, looking for this program, looking for this training course? What do you tell them? The same shit, like, hey, you need to stop wasting your time in research mode and just fucking take a leap of faith and just take action because that's what it takes. Researching and taking and looking for more information isn't gonna get you anywhere. Taking action is, even if it's imperfect. So you don't have to be perfect either. I think that's another thing. Don't be, a lot of people in fitness, as people watching this work, trainers will probably know what's a common objection. Oh, I need to wait until I'm 100% committed before I do this. How stupid is that, right? Why do you need to be 100% committed? Like imperfect action always trumps perfect action. So
Yeah,
yeah,
100%, man. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking some here, taking setting up this interview, and then we're gonna get you to those new income goals. We're gonna get you to 40, 50, beyond, and get you to the point where you're sitting on the yacht. You're overall not having to do any of the work. So we'll get there, man. We'll come
absolutely.
through.
Love it.
Sweet, man. All right, you have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.